talking to multiple clothing brands. I don't even know how many it is yet. I think I have to like literally go look. But to be honest, it's the same exact problem that everybody has, and it's been the same problem for 3 years. Do you know how many people I did a Zoom with, or they DM me and said, I don't understand how to visually find my consumer online? That's probably the scariest thing anybody can say. Because the thing is, if you can't visually find your consumer, who the fuck are you selling to? A lot of y'all make content strategies and do all this shit, and it's still the same thing. Who are y'all? I don't understand it. And I feel like people may say I'm a broken record or all these things, but it's the same problem, and y'all don't know how to fix it, right? So a lot of y'all say I have a content strategy. I have an ideal consumer. I have all these things. Your ideal consumer doesn't exist. Your ideal consumer is fake. Your content strategy is literally your content strategy is different content that you've seen that is similar to your piece. Y'all send me a content strategy and the fucking it's Macyified videos. The new Macyified content strategy is stand, plump up the pants, move your shirt around. Or on Instagram, it's, you know, fucking get a newspaper and say I'm here, or, you know, dropping soon. You know what I mean? Everything I do, I start off with a brand owner. Everything I do with brand owners, I start off, what's the conversation? How are we going to talk to this person, right? And not only how we're going to talk to this person, how are they going to literally understand where you're coming from? You know what I mean? Like, and then a lot of y'all, I'm not gonna lie, most of all the content strategies that I do, half of the brands, their main idea is for the brands who want to do better in life. Their main idea is for the consumer who wants to do better in life. Or if it's not better in life, you want to expand their mind. How the fuck are you going to find a consumer doing that? That is a brainstormed idea. That is not an idea for a brand or for a consumer that you're trying to find. You are never going to find them that way. You are talking to no one. Because if I have a brand, like telling somebody we're here to expand your mind is the equivalent of being in a Scientology church. Like, you're literally trying to make people join your Scientology church, and it's going to take a long time for you to make them join. And you're going to be like these people outside of the Scientology churches on fucking Hollywood and Vine, and standing there, and they run back inside when you talk to them about how Scientology is bad. That's how your consumers go through the algorithm with you. That's how they're working with you in the algorithm. It's silly. And I'm kind of over it, so I'm going to talk shit today. I'm going to talk shit today because I'm kind of over it, and I'm kind of over the whole process. It's getting to the point where it's like, it's annoying, right? So when you're asking me how to visually find a consumer, this means you don't know where your consumer is. You don't know where they're at. You have no clue what the fuck is going on. So if you keep buying bulks of clothing when you have no clue who your consumer is, or how to find them online, why the fuck do you keep posting and buying stuff? What's wrong? Step back and be like, let me actually figure this out. Today, I have a foolproof plan that you could do. I do this when I'm doing content strategies or brand therapy with Jay. I do this same exact process. Anybody who has brand therapy with Jay can literally comment right now. I do the same exact process with them. I'm showing you how to do it by yourself. You're fucking welcome. Here's the one thing that y'all have, if this is the one thing y'all have it all fucked up on. Y'all like to fuck around and find out, but y'all don't fuck around and find out and like learn from it, right? Brand that makes sense in the founder's world, that means it's for them. It's going to feel random and out of place for your consumer. You can't make shit and content, to be exact, based on what you think is cool, what you think is going to work, what you think is going to blow up and go viral. It's not you, it's them. A lot of people also like to say, Dave, this is basic information. It obviously fucking is not, because nobody does it. So it's not basic information. It's shit that is almost fucking gatekept. Because people don't understand this simple thing that I'm about to show you. They don't understand it. The first thing that you have to do, you need to extract the brand summary from the brainstorm bullshit that you have fucking rolled in your head. You're going to strip it down to one sentence. You should be able to explain your brand in one sentence. And I'm going to tell you why. When you are able to explain your brand in one sentence and you could say it to anybody on the street, to your mom, to your dad, to your auntie, and they instantly get it, that's how you know you are summarized, concise, and clear. When you have to explain your brand and you go on longer than 4 to 3 paragraphs, it's a brainstorm. It's literally a brainstorm. You don't know what the fuck that brand is. And they come to me and have to literally rewrite their brand and lay it out for them. And then they're like, oh, I get it now. What the fuck? Strip it down to one sentence. Strip it down to one sentence. Literally do it today. Strip your brand down to one sentence. Comment the sentence below. I would love to hear it. If any of y'all fucking say to build a better world or to build a better mindset or to make the person have a luxury life, stop the bullshit. Those are brainstormed ideas. That is a part of this sentence. That's a rough draft. That's a rough draft. That's not a blunt sentence explaining the brand. When you are explaining the brand, it should simply say, this is for boop. And it does boop. That's it. Don't go any longer than that. If you want to add a comma to be grammatically correct, fine. Don't go any longer than that. It's unnecessary. It needs to be easy. Once you have that sentence, the content is just going to fucking stream down from there. So now that you have that sentence, you're going to translate that sentence into an attainable identity. You need to always ask yourself before you make anything, before you post anything, what does the consumer actually get out of this? What the fuck is this consumer getting out of this? Fuck you. What does the consumer get out of this? Right after you do that, you're going to jump on Pinterest or TikTok. Search like the consumer, not the founder. And here it is. A lot of people, when I tell them to go on TikTok or Pinterest and search for something, they're like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. Doesn't that mean you don't know who your consumer is? Doesn't that mean you have no idea who you're talking to? And you're still posting stuff, right? Right. So what you're doing is, it's like a snake eating a fucking snake. You're going in a circle, right? If you're going to keep doing this, stop having a brand. Don't do it anymore. Do something else. Most of y'all brands look like fucking non-profits anyway. Most of y'all brands look like non-profits anyway. Non-profits with semi-cool clothing. You want to be a brand that lasts? Oh, you're going to know who this consumer visually looks like on the internet. The fucking thing is, because every one of your consumers is online right now, they're posting, liking, doing all these things. That means that you, for the rest of your brand's life, have to always be, you always have to be on the forefront, understanding that I need to know my consumer than anybody else. I don't give a fuck when you get a team of 10,000 people. You need to know the consumer better than anybody on your team. This is the key to any brand. It's the consumer. Some people like to say product then consumer. I like to say consumer then product. Why would you create something that there's no consumer for it? I believe that you have the ability to create anything on this earth, but if you're creating with no base, if you're creating with no baseline of who you're talking to, and you keep doing the same exact content, insanity. There's people who DM me and I say, you have a consumer problem. You have a consumer problem. I've been telling people this for years now. And when I tell them that, they're like, what do you mean? You mean I know my consumer. My consumer is the person who wants to go get it in life. That's not a consumer. Who wants to go get it? What are they trying to go get? Break it down. If you don't have that ability to break it down and think outside of that brainstorm method, I don't understand where the fuck this is going to go. A lot of our generation, we're so pumped up to just do, but there comes to a point where you have outputted so much that there's a point you have to step back and analyze what you're outputting. If you can't tell me who they are, and visually show me who they are. You don't have a product, you have a hobby. Working with Working Girl Collective, I remember the first pop-up we ever did. When I saw the girls line up outside the pop-up at Pinku Studio in downtown LA, near K-Town, all the girls visually looked like every girl that we had consumer profiles for. We had the existential streetwear girl, we had the Margiela girl, we had the Hello Kitty girl, we had the super colorful working mom girl, all there, sitting down next to each other, conversating. Having all of this, when I saw it, and me and the owner, Shivani, when we saw it, we were like, damn, they're right here. They're literally right there. There's no reason for you not to know who the fuck your consumer is. If you don't, you have a hobby. And I think you should just have it as a hobby. I don't think you should have a brand. Dead ass. That's what I think. Spot the rituals. Look at what repeats. So when you go on this Pinterest and you finally type in who the fuck your consumer is, it's going to be based on that blunt sentence, that one sentence, and it's going to be based on when you ask yourself, what does the consumer want, and you stop asking what the fuck you want. You're going to look at the objects, the aesthetic, the poses, and the captions. The repetition that you consistently keep seeing, that's the consumer's actual algorithm. That's the consumer's algorithm. You are not the consumer's algorithm. Your algorithm is not the consumer's algorithm. The content you see is most of the time based on other clothing brand owners showing you content. You should have another account that's based on consumer interest. You should have an account that's literally based on what your consumer thinks is cool, not what the fuck you think is cool. Your coolness is in the product. Outside of that, to get them to fuck with you, you have to base it on the consumer, not you. You always say we're supposed to make a world for the consumer. You always say that. I'm not saying to not make a world for the consumer. I'm saying the consumer's algorithm is their world. When I say make a new world, I mean make a world for your product. Make a new world for the consumer. They already have a world. You're just adding existing rituals so it feels natural and inevitable, and it turns into a proof loop. If your content looks similar to the consumer's algorithm, content that is on there at all times, they're going to consider you a part of their world. They're going to consider you a part of their algorithm. The algorithm is the consumer's world at this point. Once you know what the consumer repeats, you give it back to them. Once you know what they like, you keep doing it. The algorithm is there to help you. A lot of people hate it, but the algorithm helps you. The algorithm is not doing anything to you. The algorithm wants to keep people on the app. So it wants to help you. It wants to help your dumb ass. So here's a good thing. Watch what they repeat, because the rituals don't lie. That's their real algorithm. Drop your product inside that repetition. The loop will keep feeding the content back. That's how you stop building for yourself and start moving like a brand people can scroll past. People are not going to scroll past you if you match their algorithm. Right? That's why I tell people, get a look, keep posting. You're going to pop up on people's algorithms. And they're going to fucking love you. Especially if you have a product that they want. That algorithm is your buddy. It's your pal. Start treating it like it. I have brand therapy with Jay, and I have a content strategy right now. If you literally think that, hey, I'm probably going to still post the same and just post random shit and don't know what the fuck I should be posting, hey, keep doing it. And you're not going to have a brand in like 3 years because you're going to get burnt out. You're going to be like, I'm over it. But if you actually want to change something, if you actually want to create new and actually find a shift and feel it, there's a sale going on. I'm posting every day to the end of the month. And yeah, guys, y'all have to change that shit before, or else, literally, or else.